Now, the new cultural center is adding a state-of-the-art 1,200-seat venue, one of the biggest in the city, and the first in the world to be built just 200 feet from a library.
So we are standing in the auditorium.
Yes.
Now, tell me a bit about the idea of a concert hall inside of a building that has a library, because there is something funny about someone very quietly reading a book while next door there's a very heavy-set woman singing opera.
Definitely.
And the two never know what's going on.
Definitely. So we have to get rid of the sound noise. We call it sound isolation, noise control. In Auditorium, we need to cut the sound, so they use very thick concrete walls so that no sound will pass through the auditorium.
So the concert hall is actually a building inside of another building.
Definitely, we call it box-in-box construction.
The concert hall is a contained box, separated from the library by 6 soundproof walls, made from 25-inch thick concrete and a 130,000 square foot layer of rock wool insulation. Inside the box, architects wanted the floor, walls, and ceiling wrapped by more than 280 interlocking oak panels. The only concert hall in the world to be clad entirely in wood.
Hello, Melik, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Good, welcome.
So Melik, now I've been to many performance halls. I've seen orchestras, I've seen operas, I've seen speeches. I've never seen a performance hall that looks like this one.
Yeah, that's right. It's like a sculpture. Yeah.
It is like a sculpture.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it is incredible. God, look at this wood. This is like the lines of a sports car.
Yeah.
These like incredibly smooth curves. I mean, it looks almost like liquid, like the waves peel up and fold up like that.
Yeah, it's very amazing. Of course, it's a very hard technique because you're manufacturing it piece by piece.
So the trick is that when you assemble these very large individual pieces, it feels as if the whole auditorium itself was carved from a solid block of wood.
You're right.
While an all-wood interior creates a sculptural look, it limits sound engineers with a single acoustic environment. A challenge, since this is a multifunctional venue, designed for live orchestras, opera, and speeches.
And each of those different kinds of performance have different acoustical needs.
Yes. For speech, you need a little bit dead space. You don't want too much excessive reverberation because the speech intelligibility is very important.
Right.
But the music means longer reverberation time. You want a live space for music.
A live space.
Yes.
Because you want to have that full, rich sound all throughout the performance hall.
Right.
So the question is, how then do you accomplish both seemingly opposing goals in one single space?
Yes. Our solution is a concept called coupled spaces.
Coupled spaces.
Right.
The bigger the space, the more sound reverberates, creating echoes ideal for music, but problematic for speeches. So by designing a coupled space hidden above the ceiling, 15 feet of additional room is used to modulate the reverb. For concerts, retractable wood panels swing open, creating a live room with 1 second of extra reverb. For speeches, they close, cutting reverb in half, deadening the room. Today, crews are hanging the second retractable panel, over 1,500 pounds suspended from the ceiling.
Let's go to the heavens.
Unable to fit a crane inside, they hoist the panel 50 feet using a cable system.
Hello, boys.
To a team of 4 workers inside the coupled space.
Oh, boy. So leaving the basket, going to the ceiling. Let's see how we're doing this.
Each 8-foot wide panel is hollowed out in the back,
Come up over here.
providing a precariously narrow workspace.
Yes, we'll tie to something. So assuming if the panel goes, I'll go with it.
And since the panels are suspended from a cable system, they sway with every step.
Oh, boy, that's great. Okay, so, from where I'm standing, you can really understand how this coupled space concept works. Below me is the main auditorium, the concert hall, and above me is this secondary coupled space. And in order to connect them to change the volume, you operate a movable flap. Like this, guys, shall we? Flap pulls back, exposes one space to the next, and radically changes the sound of the concert hall. Up and over. Yep. All right.
Workers attach each panel to 20-foot-long tension cables, one every 2.5 feet,
Lock that puppy up.
keeping this massive 20-foot panel suspended and level, fitting flush to the adjacent piece.
So, As this tightens right here, the cord gets tense, which means the weight of this wood panel is now being suspended from the ceiling.
It takes 24 tension cables to support just a single panel. The final 281 panels will require over 15 miles of the stuff.
So as you see right there, the straps are coming off, which means the piece is hanging and is affixed to the permanent ceiling. And as you look around and see this tension cable, all these buckles, all this hidden structure, it gives you a sense of just how much goes on behind the scenes in order to create this amazing architectural form that you actually do get to see.